You are about to listen to the Neverdaily podcast.
This is the biggest thing since the Zapruder film.
So many questions.
I don't have any answers.
But please don't stop listening
to the Neverdaily podcast.
Welcome to the Neverdaily podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought maybe you didn't. I thought maybe you'd have something to say, so I didn't. I did. Naturally, I prepared.
Welcome to the Neverdaily podcast, a show where we cover a variety of topics from hepatitis to space travel, from the depths of the ocean to the depths of your mother. Got him. Go ahead with your intro.
Well, I thought you'd interrupt. I thought you just interrupted. So, it wasn't because we started at 8 a.m. in my time and I woke up at 8 a.m. It wasn't that. It was that I thought you'd interrupt. So I didn't write an intro.
I know that you thought that. That's why I didn't.
Yeah. Also, I woke up at last night. I was like, you know what? I don't know what time we're recording because I asked you guys a question, but you were already in dreamland. And so I didn't see the response. So I thought, I need to set my alarm so I can see the response so I can make sure I'm there on time. So I set my alarm for 8 a.m. So I woke up at 8 a.m. and saw you guys had said, yep, see it. Well, actually, I was still kind of asleep and Kent said, see you at 10. I was like, yes, wait. And then it said, see you at 10:10 because he needed 10 more minutes. And then I was like, yes. And then Jess says, it's 8 a.m. Wake up. Like she knew my eyes had opened or something. It was weird. I was like, oh, okay, crap. I forgot time zones. So here we are.
I've got fish oil burps.
Why? How'd you get those?
You take fish oil tablet, the gel. It's good for you when you get old. You know. And like the bad part is if you do a little, not even like a belch, just like, there's like, it just tastes like you just sucked a bluegill's little dick. That's what it.
Wow. So, that's gross. Why are
fish have dicks? I don't even know if fish have dicks.
Why are you consuming fish oil?
I don't know. I'm trying to live healthy, man. I'm trying to do better. You may not be able to tell it because of how I carry it because I'm so broad. I weigh 327 pounds.
I was going to say you look like you've lost some weight, but you look like you lost some weight.
You're seeing me on a computer.
Well, then you were going to say something, and then I was going to say,
yeah, I know what you're trying to...
I only see a third of you because of the camera.
Yeah, you only see 150 pounds of me.
Because your camera angle always cuts you off right at the areola. That's your nipples.
My areolas are actually on my belly button, so you're wrong. We've
become even more organized here, so it feels like I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Does it feel that way to you guys?
Oh, it's because it's Monday and we took the weekend off.
Yeah, we rarely do that. What did I have? I have something here. I'm not trying to just waste time. But what did you? It's weird. It's weird when we go a whole weekend and I don't talk to you guys because then I don't know what you did over the weekend.
Right.
But Kent, you did something kind of interesting this weekend.
I did.
Shoot, I was saying that like I knew something. I was saying that like I knew something. Oh, I was trying to say it like, you know how police always ask a question only when they know the answer. I was trying to do that. Like, You know a little more about this than you're telling us,
You don't
don't
know
you? there,
shit, apparently,
Little
because
buckaroo.
I live the most Hank Hill existence ever.
Honey,
I did-
how's Ratopia? Let's go up and
I
check it.
consumed no substances, no marijuana, no alcohol, nothing. I hauled some brush off. I put a new window motor and regulator in one of our vehicles because the window motor went out. I mowed the yard. That was my weekend. That was it. That was the weekend.
I'm glad I asked.
Very exciting. Yeah.
Actually, both of you had boring weekends.
I like it
from
like
what
that.
Jess was like, I'm going to be completely sober all weekend. And I was like, oh, great. No fun Marcos from Jess. Hey, really quick. I don't mean to, this is our show. I want you to know that, Kent.
Right.
This is our show, 5060. But
Even though you wanted to call this the Neverdaily podcast with the operator.
yeah, well, it just kind of follows suit with what we've done with other shows. You have one that has your name in it.
Yeah. Yeah. But whenever you were wanting to do the name change of this from as Extraterrestrials to the Neverdaily podcast, in between that, what the audience doesn't know is your initial plan was to change it to the Operators podcast with Kent Chungus. But you were just going to say KC with KC.
KC. Well, but it didn't manifest itself that way because we're better at branding than that. But I noticed something.
We are?
Well,
You remember why we had to change the name?
Yeah, but I believe we learn as we go. That's kind of the whole
You have
process
a
of life.
background in marketing.
Yeah, but
I don't. And I had to go, that's a bad name for the podcast. And you went, but it sounds like testicles.
So, well, I was about to throw a compliment at you, but maybe I won't now, but I will.
Go ahead, throw a compliment.
All right. So,
and I'll hit you with one.
On True Crime Kent the other day, I think we mentioned it, but we were like, hey, we need to verbally make sure that we are, asking for support from time to time because that's important. Not just financial, but just,
Yeah.
You love this podcast. Tell us, share your podcast with your mom. That kind of thing. And you had this, you just wrote it as we were talking and you were like, help me be a problem. Help it be a problem. Something like that. And I was like, wow, that was really good.
I got lucky.
And it
Sun
worked.
shines on a dog's ass sometimes.
But I didn't want you to feel bad, but I didn't know if you knew that it worked so well for the ratings of 911 Calls podcast because I got a message the other day from our analytics and it said, you have 180% monthly growth increase in the reviews and ratings of your podcast. And I was like, ha, Kent, suck it. And it didn't hurt. It didn't feel like, it was like this is a competition because it's not.
Right.
But I wanted you to know, I just basically wanted to say thank you and kind of suck it.
Right.
Because 180%. Bam. Wham,
Right.
bam. Thank you, man.
I'm going to send you a screen grab.
Okay.
Right now. And I'm assuming you're using Chartable for your analytics.
Yes. This episode brought to you by Chartable.com, where if you pay for analytics, you can get analytics.
One
But
moment. I'm going to...
you can't see our analytics because we own the show.
And
if you have a
send. Check your phone, please.
Okay. Oh, it says here. You received a message from Potato, is what it said.
That's my body shape.
Oh, crap. Oh, that's weird.
Jess has me in her phone labeled as Spuds McGee.
So for the blind listener, I will just explain what Kent just sent. This is, I guess, I want to say it's awkward, but again, this isn't a competition, and
It's not a competition, but you kind of made it one. So why don't you read what you see there?
True
What was
crime
your growth rate for 911?
180%.
What does mine say? I didn't even look at it. I'm hoping it's good.
It's weird. You shouldn't look at it because it says True Crime Kit reviews at a glance. Monthly growth. That's a lot of nines. 459.99999999999999999999999999999999999999999.
But it's not a competition, so don't be hard on yourself.
Also, it's weird. I mean, that's a lot. I didn't even know the number could do that. Put that many. Does it feel weird that it's just not 460%? I mean, I don't want to make you feel bad, but you got a 459. Wait, hold on. Let me scroll through these. 5, 7, 5, 7. Why? Another thing I don't understand is in the reviews. Why are they all 5 stars? That's because mine. Let me
Very.
just. Let me just hop over to mine. 180. There's no point anything on mine. It's just 180%. It's like well, you tried. Oh, crap. Yeah, I got a bunch of reviews. First review, 2 stars. Are the calls all fake now? They all sound weird lately. And what happened to the dramatic music you used to play during the calls? Okay.
That was me.
Yuck. Oh, wait. Oh, crap. Here's another one. This one's from their name on Apple Podcasts is, "Oh, you might know me as Yogi Bear." That's their name. Anyway, yuck. 1 star. Not funny, but they laugh at their own jokes. Get to the point, it says.
That's what every girl said when I undress. Yuck. 1 star.
Okay. Oh, here's a 5 star from Baskin Robbins 11B. I love you guys. Been around from the beginning, but something needs to be done to separate this show from the others. It's becoming an extraterrestrials 911 mashup. Jack brought some empathy, seriousness to the show. Maybe give that Chase fella a go at it. Oh, the title of this one is Try Chase.
Somebody is not a fan of me, and I get that. That's fair.
I thought this was going to be like a kind of a victory lap, but 1 star, 2 bad shows in a row. Oh, it updated. Now 3. The kid was boring. I think they mean my son. Traveling is no excuse. What does Kent want to quit? We don't need to bring your mom to work. We don't need we don't need bring your mom to work day. Stick to what we like. Quit with the gimmicks. So, darn it. Kind of stings. Stings real bad.
Oh.
Okay. I got my
You want me to read
daughter's.
some 1 stars from TC?
No, I figured we'd move on.
Here, let me try to find some. Scrolling. Give me just a minute.
All right. While you're scrolling,
Loading.
I sent a message to your wife. That sounds weird, but my daughters kept saying, "Could you ask them to send us some pictures of Ratopia?"
Yeah.
And so I messaged your wife. I said, "Do you have any pictures of Ratopia?" And she said, "I can take some when I go up there." And then
Not what my wife sounds like.
kind of it is, but
A little bit.
and then 6 hours later, she sends me a message. It would have been almost 9 o'clock p.m. I just remembered this message after I ate 6 pounds of Zaxby's, and now I'm too lazy and fat to climb the stairs.
We did have a lot of Zaxby's.
And then 24 hours later, she sends me a picture of Ratopia.
Now, I don't know if you can tell, but what I did is I bought 2 of the biggest cages they had. And these are like they go from the floor, and they probably are, I don't know, 5.5 feet tall.
Yeah, they're huge.
And I took a grinder and a cutting disc and cut the sides out of them and then fused them together. So
yeah, you should post a picture of this online.
It's just a rat city.
It is huge. It kind of reminds me of maybe you're trying to get your practice in as a prison guard again.
That's just satiating that urge to keep people and things restrained. Yeah, that's.
Do you ever walk by Ratopia with a billy club and you just clink it against the bars? Clink, clink,
yeah, just
clink.
run it down it. Yeah.
Do you ever do cavity searches just at random on the mice?
I do go through their little houses.
Yeah, that's fun. Do you ever find any contraband?
Never, not once. Never found anything.
They're pretty obedient.
Poop.
That's a sign of disrespect.
Disrespect.
You need to get that under control. Hey, what did you bring for us today?
Today, I brought a fun story, and I'm calling this one Untitled. I didn't have a title for it.
Okay.
Hey, up.
Hey.
Oh, I forgot to give you a compliment. You gave me a compliment. You don't look fat today.
Thanks. Thank you.
Look, I'm not good at compliments. I'm trying my best here. I don't.
No, you did. That was good.
Just saying, if I was a gay man, I would clap them cheeks.
That's. Nobody does that. Nobody.
I'd finger pop your asshole. But, hey, y'all.
Hey.
You like having bikes, but not using them in the way
Not
that they're
anymore.
intended.
I sold my bike to Annie Hyatt.
So Annie's got your. Did you sell her all of it?
You mean her Sam's wheels?
Did you keep the wheels? You're like, what do you want the wheels for?
No, she took them all.
So what I'm getting at is, I guess you dabble in the world of exercise from time to time. You wear the weird. What is the point in the spandex for biking? I don't understand. Why did?
Well, it's sort of the same as swimmers. Why they wear skin tight stuff? It's all about aerodynamics.
Right? Does it make that much of a difference?
Yeah. I mean, because when you're in a race, when you're in a peloton,
yeah, if you're racing, but what if you're just exercising?
Well, if you're exercising, but still there's drag. And so, yeah, it does.
Especially in 2023.
Ba-ding, donk, slam. Did you just shoot him? Is that what you just did?
No.
What the
that was drums.
Oh.
My point is, today's story involves exercising and not bicycles actually at all. We're going back to 1983. And that's the year that kicked off the first ever inaugural Westfield Sydney to Melbourne Ultra Marathon.
Sounds ultra boring.
Just a lot of running, really. So much running.
Yeah.
All of the running. 544 miles of running. 544 miles.
Wouldn't it be funny if they did that race and then some runner in like Poughkeepsie went out to run for the morning and he couldn't because they used up all the running?
So there's no more running.
He's like, comes back into the house, kind of kicks the side of the door, and his wife's like, "What's wrong, Randall?" I ran out of running today.
Fucking Australia. Used all the running.
We need to move time zones, Becky.
Take the wheels off the bike.
So mean.
So 544 miles. That's a lot of running. The race ran between. That's what I wrote, but I don't. Race ran between. I don't know if that's
no.
Is that accurate? Race ran.
The race proceeded.
The race ran. It doesn't where it start and where it began. It start and ended at Australia's two biggest shopping centers at the time. Started at the Westfield Parramatta in Sydney and the Westfield Doncaster in Melbourne. I'm guessing these were like malls, and we don't do malls anymore. It's very sad, but that's probably why the Westfield Sydney to Melbourne Ultramarathon isn't a thing anymore.
Huh.
But it was a 5-day event and considered at the time one of, if not the toughest ultramarathon in the world. Now, over the years, it brought out some of the most well-known and incredible runners from all over the world, like the famous, I'm sure you're aware of him, Giannis Kouros.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I had a poster on my wall of Giannis Kouros.
Giannis Kouros. That sounds like a birth control. Is Giannis Kouros right for you? Ask your doctor if Giannis Kouros is right for you.
You know what? About birth, since you're talking about birth control, the thing about birth control that always like made me nervous when I was young.
It makes Jess nervous as you bring it up. I can see it in her eyebrows.
That when I was young is that thing that looks like a T.
Oh, yeah.
And they put it up their vagina.
Yeah.
But it's like, it always gave me shivers because I always thought that the bottom of the T, and I don't really know how it would work, I'll be honest, was just going to pierce my dick hole.
Yeah, but, well, actually what they do, so what you don't know is that...
Yeah, I don't know a lot. I don't understand how that little crucifixion thing works.
There is, so there's a hormonal IUD is what you're talking about. I guess there's also the copper IUD, which is also T-shaped. But anyway, what they do is they stick it in there and they reach up and they push it through the vaginal space into the past the vagina, past the cervix, into the uterine area. But if you notice
does the bottom of the T, is that facing the other way?
Yes, no, the T is like facing toward her backstop or like her neck. Like if you're,
so it's not facing. So I was always afraid I was going to feel like a sharp pain and pull it out and
no, you're right.
Like a ninja star sticking out of the tip of my penis.
No, yeah. So the point is pointing right at you. It's staring.
Oh, that gives me chills.
Okay, but what they do is this episode brought to you by Shields.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just kind of hit me when you said chills. No, the T is pushed up through, and the T then is held in place in sort of the fallopian tube area. And then the bottom of the T comes through. But here's what you don't know. If you go and look at it, there's actually little tiny strings that are tied to the bottom of the IUD, and they come through. They come through the cervix back down into the vaginal cavity. So, I don't know if it's stringed for his pleasure or what, but those strings are there.
That's how they take it out.
Maybe it's to grab it. Is it to grab it?
That's how they take it out.
To grab it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just says that's how they take it out. So there are strings there.
I don't understand how this works. I don't.
I thought the strings might have been like, like when you go fishing and you add like some extra bait sauce to the bait. Yeah. I thought maybe the strings had like some absorbed, like extra baby killing.
I thought if you yanked them really
solution.
fast, confetti would just shoot out of their pussy.
No, no, but if you yank them really fast, their arms go up.
Pop!
Their arms go up like one of those 1930s
Yeah.
kids' toys. It's kind of fun. I wouldn't recommend pulling on them. If you pull on them, consequences, kids.
So back to this ultra marathon. I don't even know how we just got on birth control, but like I said, this ultra marathon brought out some of the most incredible runners from all over the world, such as Giannis Kouros, who had the nickname the Running God. And it's very important to stay humble. It's good to stay humble with a nickname like the Running God. Anytime somebody has the word God in their nickname, I feel like you can go fuck yourself, honestly.
You better just hope somebody else gave you that name and not you. Because if you gave yourself that nickname, that's just, dumb.
Now, like I said, starts in 1983, but the last inaugural Westfield Sydney to Melbourne ultramarathon was in 1991. So it went for, 8 years, I guess. And the only reason it stopped is because one of the end location pulled out of its sponsorship. But the first one in 1983 will always be the most remembered. For one reason.
It was the first one.
It was the first one, but more importantly, who won it? We're not here to talk about the marathon itself, the ultramarathon itself. The winner...
Or birth control.
Or birth control at all. Wasn't even in my outline. You somehow worked that in. But the winner of the 1983 ultramarathon crossed the finish line after running for 5 days, 15 hours, and 4 minutes. And right now you're going, wow, that's a lot of running for an athlete. Sure is a lot of running for an athlete. But here's the thing, Op. His name was Cliff Young, and he was not a running god. In fact, he wasn't even a well-known athlete. Cliff Young, when he won the 1983 ultramarathon that went 544 miles against God knows how many other competitors that were actual athletes that had been running their entire lives, Cliff Young was 61 years old.
What?
Cliff Young never had coaches. He never had diet plans. He didn't even have a background in athletics or sports. In fact, Cliff Young was just a potato farmer.
What?
He was a poor old potato farmer, and there's no tricks or gotcha moments here. This isn't leading up to, oh yeah, it was a trick how he won this ultramarathon by some kind of loophole. He ran the marathon. But as a child, the reason he had this insane stamina was he grew up dirt poor during the Depression on a sheep farm. So his dad made him run the sheep on foot because they couldn't afford horses. He did that his entire life, started farming himself, had sheep himself, and now as an old man, he still ran the hills of his own farm chasing sheep, only now he did it in overalls and gumboots.
So he was just a potato farmer.
Potato farmer.
And everybody's like, potato farmers are X fast. I mean, that's the math I would use, like the algorithm. But he went and ran a marathon, and everybody's like, hey, wait, maybe potato farmers, how does he become a faster potato farmer? And
here's
what
the
they
thing.
don't know is...
Great question. Cliff Young's speed had nothing to do with how he won this ultramarathon.
Really?
And we'll get in that in just a second. Cliff Young, the 61-year-old farmer, showed up at the event in overalls and work boots.
What?
Yes. And right before the race, he took his dentures out so they wouldn't flap around while he was running.
What? There's got to be more to this story.
There's
you can't
not.
Just go
There's
to sleep
not.
right
There's
there.
not a trick here. None of this is trickery.
I don't understand.
Now, they did make him change out of his overalls and work boots, so he put on shorts and a T-shirt. So that's advantage for him, number one. He's used to running in boots and like heavy restrictive clothing. They just put a spoiler on a race car that's been pulling luggage. Basically a race car that's had a trailer hitched to it pulling a wagon its entire life. They just said, you can't pull that wagon in this race. And then hitched a spoiler to it and didn't even know it. Because Cliff Young is like in these tennis shoes like, fuck, these are comfy. And light. Now I'm in shorts. He's probably never wore shorts in his life. Didn't even know they made stuff for your lower region that didn't go all the way to your ankles. Probably never worn anything in his whole life but denim. He puts these shorts on. He's like, my fucking dick and balls just feel free. It's not rubbing against the zipper. My knees feel air. It's the first time he's ever had air and sun on his knees. Ever. He probably took those overalls off, and actually he didn't have a skin on his legs. It was just anatomy. You could just see anatomy.
Gross.
Now, here's the thing. Cliff Young did run slow as fuck.
Okay.
And if you remember, I said he won this, and he did win it, beat all of those athletes. Why Cliff Young won this ultramarathon is because he did what was eventually tagged the Cliff Young Shuffle. And it was unintentionally a almost perfect way to conserve energy and maintain long-distance running. This farmer had unintentionally created a way to run that allowed for running nonstop without really getting tired if you're in good shape.
What was it called?
The Cliff Young Shuffle.
The Cliff Young Shuffle.
Now, his secret to winning was kind of this turtle. You remember the turtle and hare story?
Yes.
Where the turtle, he just keeps on a trucking, baby. He might not be the fastest, but he's focused. You know, he's not worried about everything else. He's got tunnel vision. He's like, just got to keep going, baby. Just slow and steady wins the race. Stay calm. The secret to Cliff's winning was while all the other runners stopped and rested at the end of every night, Cliff Young went right on through the night, baby.
Was that there was no rule against that, right?
No rule.
So they thought it was more like
race. Cliff Young slept 2 hours, and that was on the first night.
So everybody else is treating this like the Iditarod, where you slam your dogs through some course and then you come into town and you like, and then you go to sleep for a little while.
Yeah, you rest. They're like,
Isn't.
And then they crash hard and then they wake up and hit it again. But Cliff Young, he's just. And that's the wind whistling between his old balls.
Ow. What? Emma. What?
Potato farmer. His training consisted of running sheep across the hills of his farm in gum boots.
What are gum boots? Is that like a galosh?
Like galoshes, yeah. Big rubber boots that go up to your fucking knee.
Oh my gosh. So he mashed that record.
Cliff Young beat the second person, by the way, professional athletes, by hours.
Wow.
By just going slow and steady, baby.
Do you think at the end when they were like handing him a trophy, they were like, wait, you're a potato farmer? And he says, yes, I am. And they said, the Cliff Young Shuffle, is that your secret to winning? He said, yep, that shuffle's what spud me up. So here's a follow-up question I have for you. Did they change the rules after that?
No.
Or what?
But you know what is
just-
interesting? This potato farmer kind of changed the game, baby. Because what happened is many professional runners adopted the Cliff Young Shuffle, his style of running for events.
Really?
The guy, this potato farmer that just decided he wanted to go on an ultra marathon, changed the entire ultra marathon scene. By the way, after winning, Cliff was awarded 10 grand, which is equivalent to 32 grand today. Cliff didn't know there was a money prize at the end. And since he didn't know there was a money prize at the end, and he said, I've really got everything I need. I've got my sheep and my galoshes. He split the prize with only 5 contestants finished out of hundreds. That's how hard this was. Only 5 people finished it. And he split the prize money with them. Because he said, oh, golly gee, I don't need no money. They trained hard. Just give it to them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Most importantly, I think anybody that knows anything about running long distances, marathons, any of that stuff, 5Ks, 10Ks, 20Ks. Not one time in this entire 5 days of nonstop running, Cliff Young never one time shit himself.
That's really profound.
And that is my story about the potato farmer, Cliff Young, and the Cliff Young Shuffle.
I like that one. That one reminded me of the Hugs podcast days, where like we just told good stories and they were fun and we listened to each other.
Yeah.
Spooned for body heat. Well, I have a quick segment that I wanted to share from a listener. I'm going to make an attempt at her last name. Oh, I'm going to screw it up. It's one of those names, they're in like New York or maybe is this Poland? Maybe I don't know. Her name's Glennis, and her last name is how would you pronounce this? Koniecki. Is that Konecki? Konecki.
That's how I would pronounce it. Yeah.
Konecki. I'll bet you it's Konecki.
That's it, I believe.
Glennis sent you and I a Facebook message, and I asked for her permission. She said that I could I could read this. You guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm drinking wine in the wilderness. I've never had phone reception here before. I just saw a seaplane take off from my campsite. I thought you'd enjoy it. I'm just drunk, reading a book, and then boom, seaplane in the BWCA.
If I had $1.
Absolutely adore this place, and you guys would too. My son has caught 2 17-inch bass and 1 18-inch bass on my MEPS, which is a lure, by the way, for those that don't know fishing. This place is bonkers amazing. I love you guys. And wine. Okay, bye.
We love you, Glennis.
Oh, and then she sent some pictures of her and her son holding fish, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful. These bass are massive. Oh,
Glennis is one of those names where you can't imagine a child named Glennis. Right. You can't see like a 1-year-old going, Glennis, don't put that in your mouth. Glennis. Don't
Yeah.
Glennis.
It's
you feel like they were born as an adult.
Yeah. It feels like a very traditional name.
Yeah.
But she is not traditional. She's a blaze trailer out there in the wilderness with her wine.
Just living life.
And they have such her son's just happy, beaming, got those bass. And anyway, so I asked her
how old is her son?
Her son, I would put her son at 16.
Okay.
Kind of an odd question to ask, but yeah, I'd say 16, Kent.
That's not an odd question. I was just wondering if he was 5 years old or 55 years old. I didn't know.
Well,
by aging her son, we can almost age Glennis.
Well, it's
name rude to ask how old Glennis is.
His name is Edward, so he is 87. Just kidding. His name's not Edward. I don't know what his name is. But anyway, I just thought that was great. I love the drunk texts that we almost as much as the drunk texts that we get. I love the next day chat of shame.
Yeah.
Text from the same person. Or the next day where you go to the message and it just says, so-and-so deleted 5 messages.
Yeah. Get those a lot. Or pictures.
Oh, wait, and then that don't get deleted. Those are the fun ones.
If I get a picture, if I get a notification that says so-and-so has sent a picture and it's like 2:30 on a Saturday, 2:30 a.m. on a Saturday, I'm like, uh-oh. Heaven, come here. We're going to open this together. Big old dick.
You open it, it's just some person from Australia driving to work.
Yeah.
Because of time zones.
It's like a picture of Dotson.
A Hilux.
Not the
Here's
wiener I
me
was
in my
expecting.
Holden. So I asked her if I could share her drunk message, and she said yes. She said, "Oh gosh, you totally can." And then I think she wants to compliment. She might be complimenting us. Feels kind of personal, like directed directly at me. She says, "I seriously have so much fun listening." Oh, she says, "You guys, so you guys make my day all the time." My husband gets so sick of me saying, quote, "So my podcast, guys." I love that. But then she says, "Did you see the seaplane video?" And I said, "You never sent it." So all of that, she's probably laying there in camp like, can't wait for my podcast guys to see the seaplane.
She never even recorded it.
Never even recorded it. It's so good.
She's trying to record it with a dead squirrel.
She's holding up one of those bass. Come on, bass, do your magic. All right. Oh, anyway, Glennis, thank you so much for that message. It brightened my day. Oh, okay. Here's what I brought. The title of this new segment that I've started is called "Hey, I Knew That."
Oh no.
AI knew that. Hey, I knew that. Oh, but this segment in particular is called Tell My Wi-Fi Can See Her. Tell my Wi-Fi can see her. Tell my Wi-Fi can see her. Get the joke?
Yep.
The Wi-Fi's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Kent, let me ask you a question. Hey, Kent,
Hey, Op.
have you ever wished you had X-ray vision like Superman?
All the time, especially when I was like 15.
What would you do with it?
What would I do with it? Like, what can you use it? Like, list the parameters. Like, what are the limitations?
Well, okay. Here's your limitations. You have X-ray vision. You can see through stuff. What would you do?
I would go straight to the casinos in Las Vegas.
And you'd play
Look for the top
blackjack.
cards.
You wouldn't play roulette,
I don't know how to play any of those things.
but you'd look through the cards.
Yeah, I would.
You think if
I wouldn't
you-
play. I would just look at them.
I was gonna say you don't know how to play the game just because
I'd have to learn how to play, but I don't know how to play cards. But I know that would be very beneficial if you knew the cards before you said, "Hit me," or whatever they say.
So okay, I'm going to think about this for a second. If I had X-ray vision, I know what I would do. Oh my gosh,
You're going.
It'd
you're
be
just gonna go
hard.
sit
It'd
at
be
the changing rooms at J.C. Penney.
no. They don't have changing rooms in the kids section of JCPenney. Did you know that?
It's weird.
I mean,
that's where you're.
that is a fun
It's
fact.
weird. No, I wouldn't go
wasn't
there because they don't have
saying
changing rooms in the kids section.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant to just connect the
I'll
dots.
go to Carter's.
So wasn't trying to connect the dots.
It's kind of seems like you were.
My autistic brain just connected a fun fact that then I realized, no, don't connect that one. Sorry. Oh man, that hurts. Anyway, tell my Wi-Fi I can see her. So if I know what I would do. If I had X-ray vision, I would approach people and be like, hey, you should go to the doctor. That's all I'm going to say. But you should go to the doctor. Because I would be able to see their cancer.
Oh yeah. I would make it more
Or the-
fun. I would set up a booth at like a fair called Circumcised or Not. Where I would guess if you were circumcised or not, and I would be right 100% of the time.
I would make another booth right next to you that's called dinner plate sized areolas or not.
Oh, I'm all in.
And it'd be mine would be one of those like character sketch booths where you sit down. I
Draw your areolas.
It'd be free if you were on a first date and you were sitting with your first date. I'd do it for free. Just that'd be fun. Anyway, so if you wish you had X-ray vision, guess what? Turns out scientists are turning us into superheroes using something we all love and can't live without.
Cheese?
Wi-Fi.
Oh.
Wi-Fi. And
Thought it was cheese.
I'll give him a call about that one. But yes, you heard it right. Forget about coffee in the morning. Wi-Fi is the new superhero fuel. So here's the deal. These super wizards, they've managed to make AI, artificial intelligence. If you're still grappling with the VCR, how to set the timer on it, time on your VCR, and you're wondering what the heck is AI, then it's artificial intelligence, and it will have taken over before you figured out how to set the time on that VCR. Okay, but they figured out how to make AI see through walls now.
Wait till
not
the
using
pervs get a hold of this technology.
Not using fancy schmancy glow-in-the-dark radioactive material or anything. It's using Wi-Fi signals. So imagine this. So same thing that helps you endlessly scroll through your Facebook feed or binge watch cat videos. is now seeing through your walls. This is disturbing. So this isn't something out of a sci-fi movie. It's happening right now. So what happens is the AI takes Wi-Fi signals bouncing off people and objects, analyzes them, and then can tell you where people and objects are in any room where there's a Wi-Fi signal.
Like a bass
so what? And all they had to do, this creeps me out. All they had to do was they connected an artificial intelligence engine to an apparatus. Basically, it had two eyes, if you will. One eye was a camera, and one eye was detecting the Wi-Fi signals and how they bounced around the room. They ran this apparatus and let the AI pick up the data from both eyes for a little while. So it could see everything in the room because it's got a camera, right? And then they turned the camera eye off. And what the AI did is it correlated the data, the visual data, with what it was picking up from the Wi-Fi signals, like a bat would, bouncing off of objects, solid, soft, rigid objects in the room. And it correlated that data, and then it came up with its own algorithm. So now, even with the camera eye off, it could go to any place where there's a Wi-Fi signal and look for the same type of results based on how the Wi-Fi signals are bouncing around a room. And it can produce a map of who's in the room.
I don't like this.
Yeah, so like this, I don't know the best way to put, I don't know the best way to put this, but just imagine, like, okay, here's how I think this is going to go. Here's how I think this is going to go. Let's say it's 8 minutes before the bubonic plague, and there's a doctor, and he's a genius, and he's the most genius doctor of his time. 8 minutes before the bubonic plague, suddenly he realizes what causes the bubonic plague 8 minutes before it happens. But then he gets the bubonic plague and dies, and then we have the bubonic plague. That's exactly what's happening with everybody who's in the AI industry and knows what they know. They're the doctor. So all you have to do, this is going to sound silly, but just go Google headlines of Google headlines for founder of OpenAI and start reading some news headlines. And you will realize that the doctor that realized that the bubonic plague was going to happen doesn't hold a candle to what these guys are saying about the implications of AI. We're screwed. Screwed.
Well, you are, because I still almost have a flip phone.
Yeah, I was going to say. Is that the Cliff Young Shuffle model that you have?
It is. Slow and steady. Takes me 15 minutes to post a Facebook status, but...
Yeah, because you have that crank on the back.
Yeah.
You also get weather radio, I believe. Anyway, so that's what I brought today. Disturbing that, I thought, I could baby step in a segment. I could baby step people into the world of AI, or I could just jump right in and say, hey, we're screwed. And we're screwed. We are screwed.
Yeah. I think the world's due for some kind of exciting mass death.
Yeah.
We're worrying about a lot of stupid shit. We need some kind of genuine concern.
I had
to let us know that we've got it pretty good. We need, I don't know, a meteor, a robot uprising, something just to let everybody know that they need to, that how good they have it. Just a little reminder, like, hey, things were good, weren't they? Shame you guys were busy whining about all this stupid shit that you're whining about.
Meteor 2024. I was thinking along the same lines. I was thinking the other day, I was like, it feels like humans are out of control. Like humans are out of control of their own selves. And again, doesn't matter what side you're on. We all feel like we're out of control. We're either out of control of our bodies, we're out of control of our government or something, right? And so I was thinking in my head, I was like, okay, what are some ways that like humans could just take back control? Like, are there still any ways where we could militarize our selfness and shut down the engine that is, politics or whatever's hurting us? And so this is an interesting one. So I had an idea. So I went to ChatGPT, and here's the question I asked it. Check this out. This could actually work, and I don't want to say I'm a revolutionary because this really could be something that we do at some point, and it would actually maybe sway the control back in our favor. But I asked this question to ChatGPT. I said, what would happen to the credit card industry if everyone who owned credit cards suddenly accidentally left all of their wallets in public places and they were stolen and used by other people? So imagine this. So imagine somebody somewhere, sets off the alert and says, hey, today's the day everybody loses their wallet. Everybody go lose your wallet. Now, here's a problem that they'd have. First of all, you're like, oh, well, if everybody did it, then they would just be like, they would screw us all over because they'd be like, oh, well, you're part of the gang of people that tried to lose your wallets. And then you'd be like, no, I legitimately lost my wallet. And they couldn't argue that. So here's what ChatGPT said to me. If everyone left their credit cards in public places, leading to them being stolen and used by others, by the way, the results, I asked it the question, it gave me the results in 3 seconds. Leaving them to be stolen and used by others, it would have significant implications for the credit card industry, consumers, and the economy at large. It would increase fraud. The most immediate impact would be a massive spike in fraudulent transactions. Credit card companies have measures in place to detect and prevent fraud, but a situation on this scale would put a significant strain on their systems. Financial loss. While companies often have insurance to cover some of these losses, they could still face substantial financial damage. This could result in companies increasing fees, interest rates, or introducing new charges to recoup losses. It would implement stricter security measures. The industry would likely respond by introducing more robust security measures like biometric authentication or location-based restrictions to prevent unauthorized users. This could make using credit cards more cumbersome for consumers. Although I would argue that would also force credit card companies to make things more secure. Because suddenly you couldn't just use somebody else. There would be more biometric confirmation that this is me using my card. This would also change consumer behavior, they say. If such a large-scale security breach occurs, it would shake consumers' trust in the safety of credit cards. This could lead consumers to shift towards using other payment methods like cash or debit cards or digital wallets, impacting the credit card industry's market share. Regulatory intervention, such an event could also lead to increased regulatory scrutiny and possibly new laws to protect consumers, not the credit card company, which could also affect the industry's operations. And then there would ultimately be an economic impact. On a broader scale, the sudden interruption of credit card usage might slow economic activity to a halt. Credit cards facilitate a significant portion of consumer spending, so if people suddenly stopped using them, it could impact businesses' revenues, potentially causing an economic shutdown. All because we just decided one day to lose our wallets. But you think about that for a second, that I think that kind of a move by a bunch of people, like a massive number of people, would actually benefit us. One, you're not going to get in trouble for losing your wallet. B, the credit card company is going to have to implement new controls to confirm that it's you using yours. There would be new laws in place. We would scare half of the society into the thought that having a digital currency where somebody can just turn on or off our economic wealth is not a great idea. I don't know. So if through this podcast we know the time has come and we need to trigger a massive credit card revolution, the code word will be soup mother. And then everybody run out and just leave your wallet on a subway or in a subway if you just like want to get a sandwich. Jess is nodding her head so much like it seems like the threads on her neck are going to just unthread and her head's going to pop off. Is that because you work for a credit card company?
But keep in mind, while you're out losing your wallet, you got to pick up another one.
Yeah, you'll have to. Ooh, that'd be fun. see if it's the win or lose, whether you get a balance that's better. Anyway, I thought that was a kind of crazy thought I had where like, what if we all just
the problem is with anything getting everybody to pull in one direction.
Right. And that's why I don't think you'd get
in reality, you would start this revolution in your head. 6 people would do it and you would all just go to prison.
But I wonder if this would exercise itself like this. A handful, a percentage of people go out and do it, and they're the Antifa kind of, they're militant. They go do it, and it makes a little bit of a dent. But I think the news media and those people around would actually go, well, how do my constituents want us to respond to this? And you would actually get 2 sides to an argument. You get people that are like rattle, angry at the new mob that did it. But you'd have the other side going, actually, this is kind of an interesting idea. It's a social experiment to see, if they can take control back over something that's gotten out of control. Because I don't know if you know it, but interest rates on credit cards can be in the 30s now.
Oh, I know it.
All right. Well, that's all I've got. But to end it, I just got another message from Glennis, so I thought I'd share it. She says, I actually later found out I think this was border control coming to discipline in whatever fashion a group of canoeists that stayed beyond the water border in Canada. So we learned something today. You thought you could get on a lake and cross an imaginary water border into another country? Think again. They'll send seaplanes after you. That's fun.
I saw a post. Somebody, I don't remember if it was on True Crime Can or if I got tagged in it the other day, but it really made me laugh. And it was talking about, I've talked about the game that we used to play with my friends called Gay Chicken, right? Where you would,
I saw this.
Where we would purse our lips and start moving slowly towards each other. And eventually you would kiss if nobody chickened out. But if the person did turn their head away, they were a queer.
Right.
Because they didn't kiss you. I seen somebody post that they played we played Gay Chicken growing up, and now I'm married to a man and we've adopted a few children and we've just bought a home together, and I'm beginning to think he might actually be gay.
Oh, that's funny.
Then that was paraphrasing, of course. It was a lot funnier than how I said it. It was longer. They've got a credit card together, and they've got a home and a mortgage. I've adopted 3 kids, and I'm 6 years into this game of gay chicken. I'm actually starting to beginning to think my friend is gay.
I thought you were going to mention the post where somebody posted. It looks like a WWF championship belt, and it's the gay chicken champion, but it's like a real belt you can buy. It's got like little pictures of men almost kissing and stuff on it, but it's like the size of one of those big old gold WWF wrestling belts that you win. Oh, it looked funny. Anyway, well, that's all I have. You know what? Let's end with, I've got this. Nope.
Nope.
It's
not that. Nope.
Let's. I can't really turn that one off, though. It goes for like 2.5 minutes. So
I love you, Op.
hugs, everybody.
I love you.
This music's loud.
Love you guys.
Music's super loud. This music's super loud.
Love you guys. Love the guys in the back door. Matt Mathias and Dusty Love and Trish and Kristen and Raven and Jessica Friswell and Aaliyah Moon. Love you guys.
Oh, I didn't know it made more than one boo.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right. Well, let's.
Can we go, please? Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.